Hey everyone, it's Saiko here, and yeah, I realized that this is a re-upload of a video I did yesterday. Apparently the audio towards the end fucked up. This is the re-uploaded version. I also don't know if I'm gonna be posting the Hornets one today just because of health reasons. But if you guys want to, you guys can rewatch this video. If not, the Hornets video might come out later today. Kind of depends. I don't really know yet. So yeah. Welcome back, YouTube. It is Saiko, and today we are here back with another video in our 30 teams in 30 day series. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the San Antonio Spurs. But before we even get into the video, guys, if you guys could please hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to also hit the bell for notifications so that way you don't miss a video. I'm also trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you guys could actually hit the subscribe button, that would be really appreciated, and I'm pretty sure that DeJounte Murray would love it if you did that for me. So the Spurs offseason this year was actually pretty questionable in my eyes. The biggest losses for them were the fact that they traded DeMar DeRozan to the Chicago Bulls for Al-Farouq Aminu and Thaddeus Young, and then they also lost Patty Mills in free agency to the Brooklyn Nets, which, I mean, if Patty wants to go win another ring, that's his best chance. So I mean, I don't know if I can complain, but like, he was really like the last bet that the Spurs had on that team, or at least like the last guy with like championship DNA on that team. They got Doug McDermott in a sign and trade, and they also signed Zach Collin to a 3-year deal when the dude literally has not played in like the last 2 years. They re-signed Brent Forbes, who they lost to the Milwaukee Bucks about last year, and now he's back in San Antonio apparently. And they also re-signed Keita Bates-Diop as well. All of this, and yet they didn't get Lauri Markkanen, who apparently was on their radar the entire offseason. In the draft, the Spurs selected Joshua Primo out of Alabama with the 12th pick, and I mean, he was actually projected to go much lower, but I do like this pick for the Spurs. As for the starting lineup for this team, I think it's going to be something around the lines of DeJounte Murray at the 1, Derek White at the 2, Keldon Johnson at 3, Thaddeus Young for the veteran presence is probably going to play 4, and they'll probably have Jakob Poeltl at 5. Off the bench, I see something around the lines of Trey Jones, Lonnie Walker, Devin Vassell, Doug McDermott, and Drew Eubanks pretty much taking the majority of the backup minutes. However, it's the Spurs, and honestly, looking at this roster, they have so many other guys that just could take those minutes away, so it wouldn't surprise me if Pop decided to just play some random guy all of a sudden. DeJounte Murray is probably my favorite player on this team. He's a big guard who's out there to play pretty much good defense. He can rebound the ball, he can steal it, and plus every year he's been getting better on the offensive side as well. So I'm expecting this year to actually be one of the years where his scoring goes up even more than it did last year. I expect Derek White to pretty much do the same thing that he's been doing the past few years, and that's pretty much shoot the ball, score. He scored about like 15 points, which is kind of average for what he does, although last year he was hurt, so maybe the offensive production goes up because he may be, or at least he may stay healthier this season, I hope. But like when he did play last year, he was shooting the skin off the ball. Keldon Johnson is a guy that I really like. He was amazing for the Spurs last year, especially at the beginning of the season, because he was coming out scoring like 20 points a game, but then obviously as the season went on, he started slowing down a little bit. He's pretty much a really solid guy. He plays defense, he can score pretty well, and because he played in the Olympics last summer, I actually expect him to get even better, because for some reason, anytime that there's a guy on the Olympics, like a younger guy who plays in the Olympics the very next year, their game just evolves and just like they just get way better. So I'm hoping that Keldon Johnson is going to be something like the most improved player, even though he went from like 6 points to 15 points, but maybe he might go from 15 to 20 points, who really knows. So to add a veteran presence to the lineup, I think that the Spurs are probably going to start Thaddeus Young, and he's just probably going to play the position of 4 on the team. He adds playmaking as well as defense, and we pretty much know that Pop loves his defensive players, so I think that Thaddeus Young is probably going to, you know, blend in just perfectly. I'm also really looking forward to Thad being Thagic Johnson like he was last year, or apparently Thagic Johnson was the nickname that a lot of Chicago Bulls fans gave him last year. But I feel like as the season goes on, he's probably going to end up just sitting on the bench because, I mean, spoiler, I don't really think that the Spurs have much to play for this season. Jakob Poeltl is pretty much there to get rebounds and block shots like he kind of has been the last few years. He's a solid defender, but I don't know if I would actually want him to be a starting center on my team. Or at least I don't really see him being the starting center on a competitive team. When I look at the bench, I don't really know what to really talk about with them. Yeah, they have Trey Jones, and he pretty much didn't really even play last year. I mean, when he did play decent, so I mean, I guess that he'll probably get way more reps this year under his belt, so hopefully he just can become like, I guess, a solid backup point guard. Lonnie Walker is the type of guy that I can see score buckets this season. I expect him to sort of take the 6-man role this year because with Patty Mills gone, they don't really have any sort of like firepower off the bench. However, I do think that Lonnie Walker can be that guy, especially like watching him last year. He had flashes where he was scoring like 15-20 points a game, and that was coming off the bench too. So he's a guy that shows flashes of being able to kind of step into that 6-man role and really thrive there. Devin Vassell looked really good in his rookie year, and I pretty much expect him to kind of continue that success into this year. He's shown that his defense isn't going to be a problem, but he has shown that his offense can be a little hit or miss sometimes. But I expect him to pretty much, you know, be able to get a grip on his offensive game and improve that this year. Doug McDermott is probably going to end up playing backup four minutes just because I don't trust Zach Collins at all. The man, like I said earlier, has literally been injured for like the last 2 years, and for some reason the Spurs decided to sign him to a 3-year deal. I don't know why, but I do see Dougie McBuckets pretty much doing what he did for the last few years with the Pacers, and that's pretty much like Lonnie Walker, kind of just shooting the skin off the ball. I'm not even gonna lie to you, I don't really know anything about Drew Eubanks. All I know is that apparently the Spurs, like earlier in the offseason, re-signed him and they made an Instagram post about it. I don't really know what he does, but according to Basketball Reference, he rebounds the ball and blocks shots, so I guess that's gonna be what he does. This is the first year in a very long time in my 24 years of life that I pretty much actually look at the Spurs and see them as a team that isn't gonna even be decent this year. I think that this team is going to tank. They no longer have the guys like Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. They don't have Kawhi Leonard. They just lost DeMar DeRozan. LaMarcus Aldridge, they released last year and he went to the Nets and apparently retired and then came back out of retirement. So, I mean, this team doesn't really have any like good solid veterans anymore. And I kind of feel like that's what the Spurs culture was kind of based around, or at least like as the years went by, they just had a lot of solid veterans that they were able to rely on and play all the time. I also feel like this might be Pop's last year, but we don't know because some people thought he was going to retire after the Olympics, but I mean, he's still a head coach, so I hope he doesn't just because I love Pop, but if he does, it wouldn't really surprise me. I mean, if they do decide to tank and they somehow end up with the first overall pick next year, I mean, the last time they had a first overall pick, it kind of turned into something amazing for them. I don't know, you guys might have heard of this guy. I don't know if he's like really well known, but I know that in the 1997 draft, the Spurs drafted a guy by the name of Tim Duncan out of the Bahamas, and he just fell into their lap, and I mean, you guys kind of know the history from there. So who knows? I mean, there is like a really tall guy that is projected to be like a top pick in the next coming draft. So if the Spurs get their hands on him, maybe we have something worth looking at with the Spurs again. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please rate, comment, and subscribe for more content. My name is Saiko, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Like always, have yourselves a good day, and I will see you guys tomorrow for my 30 teams in 30 days series on the Charlotte Hornets. Bye, guys.